What up, everybody? WitherWords back here after a long break. Holidays coming around, things get crazy, but Dark Souls hasn't been forgotten. Today we're running through the Lost Izalith. Lot of fun to be had here. I say that sarcastically because really this place sucks. It's probably the worst area in the game. The only place I think, well, personally, I don't like the Tomb of Giants. A little bit. I think Tomb of Giants is a little bit worse, but many people put Lost Izalith as their #1 most hated place in the game. First thing you're going to notice, a lot of lava around here. A lot of lava. A lot of lava. Gotta wear the orange charred ring that we pulled off the centipede demon. Anything else and you're going to find yourself dead pretty quickly. You see a bunch of, it might be kind of hard to see in the screen. You see a little bit of movement ahead. This entire area, or the majority of it at least, is filled with giant two-legged demons. They are not a lot of fun. They hit pretty hard. Not super hard, not, oh, you're going to die in one hit hard, but pretty hard. They're quicker than they probably should be for how big they are. And there are a lot of them. So while you're going through the area, you have a couple choices. You could fight them all. Certainly something you could do. You probably won't be all that thrilled if you do. It takes a while and they are not super easy to kill. Or B, you could just ignore all of them, which is what I'm going to do in this playthrough, because there's really no need to kill them. If you take the path I'm taking, you won't have to fight any of them. See, I just point straight ahead there. We're just going to run on forward. The only time you actually need to fight any of these guys is either A, if you want the experience, the souls. They're worth about 2,000 souls apiece, I believe. Or B, if you want the 2 divine blessings in the area, which I will show you when we get there. There are a couple of these statue enemies roaming around the ruins. There are a lot more later on. But there are just only a couple here at the beginning area. In these ruins, you see there's an item inside this one. These ruins, you don't have to necessarily go on to them. You see I got a Soul of a Great Hero. Personally, I think it's worth it. That Soul of a Great Hero is worth, I believe, 20,000 souls. So that one's worth it for sure. The second one is not necessary either, the second ruins, but it does house a hidden bonfire. And unless you took the secret path to get here through the Daughters of Chaos entrance, I recommend you get this bonfire, because you're probably going to die to the boss here. Doesn't really matter how good you are, doesn't matter how skilled, you're probably going to die. So my suggestion would be to come where I'm coming right now, hit this little wall here to open it up, and grab this bonfire. If you don't, it's going to just be a longer run back every time you die. So, you know, it's up to you. If you're feeling really brave, you don't have to by any means, but I suggest you grab this bonfire. Speed up here, go through some souls. Now, the Lost Izalith is actually a very, very short area, which may leave you wondering why this video is about a half hour long. Well, the reason for that's pretty simple. The boss at the end of this video is the worst boss in the game. It's incredibly, incredibly frustrating. No other boss in the game punishes you for no apparent reason. But this boss, it makes you want to pull your hair out. It really does. It's the worst boss in the game, and honestly, it's a boss that doesn't really fit with the rest of Dark Souls. The boss here, well, I should say the rest of Dark Souls bosses really are skill-based. You know, you fight them and you're rewarded for being a skilled player, and you're punished for not being a skilled player. But the boss at the end of this area, the Bed of Chaos, doesn't really care how good you are. It couldn't care less. You could be one of the best players in the game. Bet of Chaos doesn't care. He's gonna give it to you either way. So, in preparation for this, just kind of steel yourself. Be ready. Things are gonna go south probably more than once when you try this for your first time. That's why I definitely recommend getting the bonfire. See, I'm kind of looking around. You might have noticed that one of these roots going around the area are actually the roots of one of the arc trees, which is interesting. The arc trees apparently are not harmed by lava. Interesting little tidbit there. Of course, the arc trees are supposed to be magical, so that would probably explain why. You see, I'm going to point down here. Right down there, those are where the divine blessings are. The last two divine blessings in the area, or the last two are the only two divine blessings in the area. Right down there, you will probably have to kill one of those guys if you want to get to it. I didn't get it because I don't really personally care for the divine blessings. They're not that useful. They can be nice to have if you know what you're getting into in advance and have some sort of plan that revolves around them, but I don't usually use them. And because I fell down, I'm just going to go rest at the bonfire again. Alright, so believe it or not, we're actually about halfway done with Lost Izalith already. I know, we're only 6 minutes in, still 23 to go. But you'll see why this video is so long here in a bit. The video itself actually was around an hour and 10 minutes. The main reason being I died to the Bed of Chaos, I'm going to say 10 or 11 times. So many times that by the end of it, I was about ready to shut off my game and just call it a day because it was frustrating. But I didn't. I persevered for you guys. And, well, you'll get to see some funny deaths that came out of it. Alright, so we're up here at the top of the ruins. Don't need the orange charred ring anymore. Now, if you continuously die, like I do, eventually you might just leave the orange charred ring on because it's just annoying to try to switch back and forth. But for the first time through, I switched over to Havel's ring so I can have my fast roll again. And there are a few items in the area. Nothing major, nothing that's going to be, oh, must get sort of items. But there are a few, and I'll try to show you all of them here. There are also a lot of these statue guys. The statue guys are not hard. You remember them from the last video. They go down quick. They're easy to kill, especially if you're two-handing your weapon. If you know where you're going down here, you don't even really need to fight any of these guys. You could just run straight through. But for the purpose of strategy and showing you guys how to get through, we're going to take our time and kill everything, clear out the area. There's also another place in the Lost Izalith that I'm actually not going to go to, and the reason I'm not going to go to it is because the only thing down in the area that I think is really worth it is a red slab of Titanite, I believe. I think it's a red slab. And I'm not going to need a red slab, so I don't go down there. But it's also an area where, if you've been following Siegmeyer's quest line, you can not finish it off, but get close to finishing off. It's a requirement to come down there and see him if you've got all the prerequisites done and whatnot. Which again, I would recommend you go to the Dark Souls wiki and check out if you want to finish that quest line. But I had not done it this far, so I didn't even go into the area. I will point out where it is, though, when we get there. So we've killed a few of the guys. They're not worth a whole lot of souls. So personally, if you don't really need to, I recommend just running by all of them. There's just no point in fighting them. There's one item around the corner up here, which I'd almost forgotten about. Large soul of brave warrior. From here on out, anytime you see a corpse with an item on it, I really do recommend you get it, because a lot of the souls you're going to be picking up from now on are pretty hefty. And most of them will be at the very least 5,000. Some will be 10, and you'll be able to find some 20s. But overall, they're worth it. So I recommend picking up any items you find. I don't know what these tentacle things are called. They're not very hard, but you might have seen him do his little spray mist thing. I don't think I've ever been hit by one of those spray mists, but if I remember correctly from reading on the wiki, that spray damages your armor. So I don't recommend you get hit by it, because I believe it damages it to the point that it needs repaired, which could really it's just a pain in the butt. What's the point, you know? There were two paths over there. I took the right path. The left path would have led us up to the boss. Yes, I know. We would have been at the boss already. But I decided to hold on a second, so we're going to go get a couple more items. Also up there is an NPC, and the last encounter with Kirk that we're going to have. If you remember Kirk from our last video and from the depths, he shows up one more time to give us a little bit of trouble. And if you're not ready for him, he can actually be kind of tough with this one, because up in that area there's a witch of Izalith. I believe the only witch of Izalith that you fight in the game, unless for some odd reason you try to kill Quailana. The witch is not hard. She takes a lot of damage. She does have some pretty strong pyromancies, but as long as you're not being silly, you shouldn't get hit by her pyromancies. I do get hit by her pyromancy in one of these, which is why I die. But for the most part, if you're a little more proper build than I am, maybe running strength or dex, you'll probably be able to kill her before she even has a chance to get off any of her pyromancies. We took the second path now, straight down to the middle. And down here is the area where the Ziegmeyer questline kind of finishes off. I'll show you where in a second here. Man, there's a lot of these statue guys running around. The Lost Izalith, many people wait to do the Lost Izalith until last. The reason being the Bed of Chaos. It's just not a lot of fun. Now I did it second, and there's a reason for that, and I'll point it out when we get there. Alright, you see this area right here, this little alcove back here? I'm not going to walk onto it because you fall down if you do. But if you go over there, so I'm going to shoot this force. As soon as you step on the little broken area, you will fall down into a place where, if you followed the quest line, Ziegmeyer will be. Or if you haven't followed the quest line, there will still be a few items down there. The biggest one, I think, being that red Titanite slab. But as I said before, there's a reason that I came down to Lost Izalith second. And that reason is because I hate the Tomb of Giants. There's an item here that I'm going to get here pretty soon in Lost Izalith called the Sunlight Maggot. And it's actually a helmet that gives off light when you wear it. Now, when you're in the Tomb of Giants, it's pitch black. And having a light source can be very helpful. Now, there are a couple light sources you can get. One is, yeah, this Titanite Demon. He's a lot of fun. This one actually is pretty tough. If you're coming up this way, be prepared for a fight. This guy's no joke. He's the last Titanite Demon that you really need to worry about in the game, and he's not easy to kill. But he does, almost every single time, I believe, drop Titanite chunks. So, if you want to get some Titanite, not a bad place to farm, especially if you have the fire lit that is at the end of his area. But as I was saying about the Sunlight Maggot, there's a few sources of light in the game. There's one that is magic, and that one would, of course, require you to be a sorcerer, which I am not, so that is out of the question. The other one is the jack-o'-lantern head. The jack-o'-lantern head drops in the catacombs off of the necromancers, and I'm pretty sure that you're guaranteed to get one. I'm not positive on that, but I've never failed to get a jack-o'-lantern head in my runs, so I'm just going to say that you're supposed to get one. The jack-o'-lantern head is useful, but yeah, that hit pretty hard. I was not expecting that, and I died. But yeah, I got hit really hard by that attack. But the jack-o'-lantern head, I don't really like the jack-o'-lantern head because you have to use it in your left hand to get the light. And if you have it in your left hand, you can't have a shield out. So, you know, if you're gonna use the jack-o'-lantern, you should probably know what you're doing. Or better yet, just don't use the jack-o'-lantern. I mean, the light's not that big of a difference from it. If you're going to use the jack-o'-lantern, I would actually just suggest you forego it and just run on ahead with the little light you get from your own body when you're in the Tomb of Giants. Alright, so we're running back up here, and screw the Titanite Demon. I don't really need to kill him anyways. I'm just going to run by him. If you don't need Demon Titanite, I recommend you run by him. There's no need to fight him. See, we're getting to the area back here. Now, if you would come through the the Daughters of Chaos shortcut, this is actually where you come out. The shortcut itself is nice, and it's actually the only way to finish off Solaire's questline, but it's not necessary to go this way. The time cut down for running through the Lost Izalith is really not a lot. The only reason that I would recommend doing it, other than to save Solaire, is if you really, really do not want to fight the Centipede Demon. That would really be the only reason. And honestly, the Centipede Demon's not that hard. So, I would say fight. Get through there and be all you can be. But we're not going to go that way right now, because there's no need to. But so I got the Sunlight Maggot. These are the little guys to kill. They're not hostile to you. They won't fight back. You just want to kill the one that has a little glow to it. I'm on a homeward bone here because I don't really want to run all the way back. And I'm not really missing anything. The Sunlight Maggot is a helmet that you can wear on your head and acts like a light source. I really like it for going into the Tomb of Giants because, one, I can still use my shield, and two, you just don't have to think about it. You don't have to hold a button or anything. You just wear it and run along. So that's why I came here second, as opposed to another time. It's because I wanted the Sunlight Maggot, and because, well, because I hate the Tomb of Giants and I try to push it off as much as I can. It's not a lot of fun. Although there is a really nice ring in there that can be very useful. But we'll cover that when we get there. Alright, so we've pretty much done everything in the Lost Izalith here. The only thing we really have left to do is to fight Kirk and the Witch of Izalith. Now, I'm pretty sure I died the first time I came up here. In fact, yes, I am positive I died. The first time I fight the Witch and Kirk. I actually overestimated the power of the Witch, and was a little more cautious than I really needed to be, and that's what gets me killed here. She also, I don't think it was a bug, but she seemed to do something where she teleported to me, and then hit me with her fire spell. Her fire spells are actually really, really damaging. You don't want to get hit by any of them. But for whatever reason, she managed to hit me with a fire spell when I thought she was pretty far away still. So here's the Witch. She's not really all that powerful. Doesn't take a lot to bring down. Mr. Kirk invaded. That's the one right there. You do not want to get hit by that. That really, really hurts. And apparently, she was able to hit me with it even from a distance. I'm not sure how. I really, really am not sure how. I didn't think the distance on it was that far, but it must have been far enough, because obviously I died. So we're going to make a cut. We're going to try this again. I actually wasted about 10 minutes between those, because I ran all the way back up here and realized that I was not human, therefore Kirk would not invade me. So I decided to start again. But as you see, the Witch dies really fast. there's really no point in treating her like she's tough. I made a mistake in doing that. She staggers every hit. She's easy to kill. Just finish her off. Now Kirk, on the other hand, this third time around, for whatever reason, Kirk seemed to have a little more oomph to his hits. I don't know if he's a higher soul level when you fight him here, but he was hitting me a bit harder, it seemed. But he's still not all that tough. 29,000 souls for that one. Not bad. I think that's worth it. And you also get his barbed straight sword. And if you've killed him for the third time here, I believe his armor set opens up in the area just off the Daughters of Chaos bonfire. There's like a little doorway at the end of that, and I believe once you've killed him for the third time, the doorway opens and you can get his armor set. I'm not 100% positive on that though, because I've never done it. I just believe so from what I remember reading. For some reason I decided I really wanted to kill this other tentacle guy. I'm not really sure why. Oh, that's right. There's a chest over here. One more chest. Those guys, I believe, also have a chance to drop red titanite chunks. So, if you're interested in fire weapons, I think those guys are not a bad place to farm. You don't want to farm the guys who are standing here on the ruins, though. You want to go to the place where Siegmeyer's quest line is. You want to drop down there if you want to farm. Well, you know what? Actually, I don't think you can farm, because I think they are one-shot kill, or once they die, I don't think they respawn in the Siegmeyer area. So yeah, you probably do have to farm those guys. And I imagine there's probably a better red titanite chunk farming area. I just don't know of. Alright, here we are. The boss gate to the bed of chaos. Strap on your pants, folks. This is going to be pretty funny. I cut out most of the deaths. The reason being, one, this video would have been about an hour long. And two, because most of them were just annoying. There was nothing interesting about them. However, I did decide that you guys might want to see the more humorous deaths I had. And I did keep some of those. So we'll have a little death montage of WitherWords here. See what happens. Alright, there we go. No cutscene, no nothing. Just right into the fight. First thing you want to do, to the right and to the left of the bed of chaos, you see these little glowing orb areas. See that right there? You just want to run up to the first one. Get inside. When you're inside the orb area, you cannot be hit, if I remember correctly. So you want to get inside there. Give it a smack. Enjoy your cutscene. Now, I don't do it here, but there's a little trick you can use if you don't really want to take a chance when fighting this guy. It's no guarantee that you won't die, but it gives you a better shot of not dying. And that is, right after you kill one root, one side, immediately hit start and quit your game. When you respawn, you'll be outside the bed of chaos beginning area. You see the floor starts to fall away. And I got knocked off. There's death number one. Yeehaw. But anyways, if you quit and restart, you will start right outside the bed of chaos area. Now the bed of chaos is a unique boss in that when you take a chunk out of him, say you kill one side, it doesn't respawn the next time you come in. So you have as many chances as you need to get this right, to get aside. You don't have to worry about, you know, coming back and everything being reset. You have as many shots as you need. However, that's not really comforting if you know how tough the bed of chaos actually is. So you got a little spin there. I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. Oh, I didn't do it. Good stuff, good stuff. Hey, let's try that one more time, huh? You will come to hate this little hallway down after about your 20th time. This boss really just sucks. Honestly, the skill level in this boss, there's really only one thing you can do in this boss to fight, or to, quote-unquote cheat. Well, when I say cheat, I don't mean like actually cheat. You're not actually cheating, but to reduce your risk of dying. One is to get really good at dodging his little hands, which is not easy to do, because if you dodge one, the other one seems to always come up behind you. Or two, you could use a bow and arrow. Get to a safe spot, because the outer edges of the room are generally safe. I believe his fire tentacle root things can still hit you, but his main hands cannot. Now I homeward boned here because I did not feel like running back and dying. Not that it helps, because I still died many times. But you could use a bow and arrow to try to shoot the roots. It is possible, I've done it before. But you still have to face this gauntlet at the end. Now we're at the very last part. The very last part, you see the bed of chaos. We actually want to run right towards him. I see I died. When you run towards him, the floor right below him will drop open. And there is one single root path that you have to jump onto. Yeah, you have to jump onto it. You can't just walk over. I believe you can roll if you get the roll exactly right, but odds are you're just going to want to jump. Because you see, if you roll like I did there, and I did not mean to do that, that was just the game being a little silly for me. If you roll, you can roll right off. You want to make a jump. And I'm pretty sure this one here was like the 10th time I fought him, because I know that after a while I didn't even bother trying to regain my souls or humanity. I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it! Oh, yeah, aww. Yep, those are the deaths right there that make you think this boss is just dumb. 'Cause honestly, the skill level on the boss is pretty much meaningless. It doesn't really matter how good you are. You're pretty much down to luck. Will he use an attack animation that leaves you room to maneuver? Will he do that? I dodged his first attack. His second attack hit me and pushed me over into his fire attack that one-shot me. That's good stuff, folks. That's good stuff. Well, let's try this again. Dodge. Almost dodge. Blocked. Missed. Roll. I'm on. Oh yeah? I'm on. We're going down. Alright. We're on. Let's get down here. We gotta break all these roots. Oh my gosh, I took a drink and I got one shot. Yeah, how do you like that? You're not even safe if you've managed to get on the other side. This boss is so cool. Essentially, when you get to the other side, you gotta keep moving. You can't stop at any point in this boss. You just gotta keep going forward. I recommend rolling. See, I almost rolled off again. Man, I would have been mad if that happened. I recommend rolling. Use a fast roll if you can. I didn't, because I died so many times. I was tired of taking off the orange charred ring. But if you have a fast roll, that'll help you out here. Get to the end and immediately beat the crap out of this little guy here. Don't take a second. Don't stand in front of him and gloat, because guess what? That fire can hit you in here too. So just get down there, kill him. Do not screw around with this boss. Alright, and that is it, folks. That is it for Lost Izalith. We're done with this area. We're never coming back. Next time, we're either going to go down to the catacombs or go into New Londo. I haven't decided yet. But this is the most frustrating area of the game. We are past it. If you're here, don't lose hope. Stay strong. You can do it. WitherWords believes in you. See you next time, folks.